Hello everybody and welcome back once again. My name is Jordan, also known as J Monster, and you are watching episode 4 of my Elves of Lorien Let's Play. As you can see here, we're exactly where we left off last episode. We're currently laying siege to Moria, and we're about to take on this large goblin army, and somewhere inside of there is a background, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to kick the episode off with a bang next turn, because that's how long it's going to... Oh, no, don't quit! That's how long it's going to take to, yeah, for our Rams to be built, so there you go. So, where are we in terms of lore? Last time we talked about the dwarves. Dwarves are really interesting. What we can start doing now is talk about the men. I know. The men in Middle-earth are actually really interesting. When Tolkien wrote the stories, he'd kind of intended this to be a fictional story, obviously, that we could integrate into a real-world timeline. And it looks like, oh no! I forgot about these guys. I should have attacked them. That's all right though. We're gonna fight this 800, almost 900 strong goblin force here, and we'll push them out of our capital, hopefully. And yeah. This is perfect. Every time I talk about a subject, that same subject matter comes up in the little quotes down here, which is just handy. Alright, see here, this is a custom settlement. This is Caras Galadhon, which is absolutely gorgeous, but a little confusing. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put our troops here. And they're going to be coming up. Oh, whew, I apologize for that. I have bad allergies, and I live with people that like to garden, so it's kind of miserable. Yeah, our general's bodyguard here is opening fire on these advancing orcs. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the men in Middle-earth. The men in Middle-earth come from all different. Well, they come in all different shapes and sizes, and all kinds of different alignments. The Easterlings and the Hordes are... They're portrayed as evil in that they side with the evil forces, but they're actually kind of been tricked into serving Balrog. He tells them all kinds of lies about the men of the West and that kind of thing, which turn them against him. Well, they've already... Gondor, in particular, has already been feuding with Hordes and such for quite some time, and the Easterlings as well. The Easterlings and the Balchoth launched a number of invasions of Gondor, along with the Wayne Riders, who were a kind of Easterling. Stop talking a bit here, and we'll move our troops down. Well, they got over here a lot quicker than I anticipated, so that's not very good, but... yeah, there's a lot of bad blood between them, and Sauron lying, and telling him all kinds of horrible things, like they kill their captives, and probably other things like they eat children, you know, just general sort of bad guy stuff, which of course wasn't true because Sauron is a compulsive liar. But there's also the Easterlings, the men of Rune, and then there are of course the men of the West, that consisting of basically descendants of the Edain. And I don't know as much about the men as I know about like the Elven Dwarven faction, so if I get something wrong, by all means, let me know. Say to leave a message in the comments or something. But the men of the West are largely descended from the Edain. I believe even the Dunlendings are kind of descendants of the House of Hador. And the Edain were, I believe it's a Sindarin word, a Sindarin plural for men in general, but it generally refers to certain houses of men that allied themselves with the Noldor and the Elves in general during the First Age, being the House of Beor, the House of Hador. There's also the House of the House of Haleth. Oh, looks like these orc raiders here have broken through and are attacking our poor general's bodyguard here, who should be shooting arrows. A little late for that, boys. Let's see what's going on here. Somehow victory is still certain. Yes, the Edain were the allies of the Elves against Morgoth in the First Age. And after the fall of Morgoth and the War of Wrath, I don't know if I've mentioned that yet, but it was the sort of a final battle between the Valar and the and Morgoth and his orcs. Uh-oh. And it basically was such a destructive battle that it resulted in the changing of the world for a third time, I believe. Basically, the changing of the geography of Middle-earth. And after that, the Edain who were left that had stayed faithful to the Valar and the, I guess, cause of goodness and all that. Well, should probably stop these guys from getting to our square, shouldn't we? They were given a homeland was off. It wasn't part of Middle-earth. It was off the coast of Middle-earth, but closer to Valinor. But they weren't allowed to go all the way to Valinor. You've probably heard of it. It's called Numenor. And they became a very great civilization. Let's make sure our general hasn't been separated from his troop. And is over here dying or something horrible. Oh my god, we might lose our capital. What a horrible setback that would be. It's alright. We could take it back. We've got a fairly decent sized force out here, but I forgot to move them because I'm foolish. And I was talking about lore. It's always distracting. But yes, they were given this island home of Numenor, and they were also given longer lives than the rest of the men of Middle-earth, such as the Easterlings and such. And they became a very great, powerful civilization. They were obviously seafaring because they were an island nation. And their downfall was actually their splendid power, because they fought against Sauron, and basically they trounced him because Sauron claimed that he was Lord of Middle-earth, and at the time there was one of the last Numenorean kings. His name was Ar-Pharazôn, I believe. Or Ar-Pharazôn the Golden. So he was very powerful, and he marched on Mordor with his forces. And what little troops Sauron had to him, well, what little, I don't actually know the number, but the troops that Sauron had available to him basically abandoned him because the Numenoreans were just so powerful and so numerous at this time. And what's going on here? Are we still holding the line? Might get brutal. Might get pretty bad for us. Oh, we've managed to kill 41% of them. Well, that's good. I think we'll be alright. But Ar-Pharazôn took Sauron back as a companion, and Sauron, being the deceiving, lying cheat that he is, basically worked his way into Ar-Pharazôn's confidence and turned the people of Numenor basically against the elves. He said that he convinced them that Morgoth was the one true god of Middle-earth, not Eru, and that the Valar, I believe it was that they didn't exist, or that they were afraid of men, because men were, well, he told them they were all powerful. They were the ones who should rule the world. So he gathered all of the forces loyal to him. They were called the King's Men. They were opposed by the Loyalists, who were led by Elendil, who I believe in some manners is related to the royal family, because he had a claim to kingship after the events that I'm about to tell you all about. But yes, they were called the Faithful, and they were led by Elendil, who I'm sure you guys have heard of, or at least seen in the movies, that sort of thing. And so he sailed with his king's men on Valinor, and as soon as his men, well, the men on his ship touched down on Valinor, basically Manwë, who was the High King of Middle-earth, he's a Valar, kind of, for the first and only time, relinquished control of Middle-earth to Eru, who basically made the land swallow up the forces that had landed, and they would fight in sort of their Ragnarok battle at the end of time against Morgoth. They would redeem themselves. And the rest of his fleet was wiped out in a great storm, and Numenor sank beneath the waves. It's sort of has a lot of parallels to the Atlantis tale. Why are these guys not shooting? Oh well, we're just gonna move them in there. And so Numenor was destroyed, and at this time, Elendil and his faithful had fled Middle Earth, and they had packed up all of their boats with treasures. One of them was a seedling of that became the white tree that grows in the court of Minas Tirith, which at the time they built it was called Minas Anor. And along with other things like the Palantir, the 7 seeing stones. And oh my God, we're kicking butt here. Might actually push these guys out. Blow the horn just because why not? Let's toot that horn. We'll toot our own horn. And so yes, they brought all these things back to Middle Earth. There was already colonies. I believe Gondor was a colony of the Númenóreans at the time, and the Númenóreans that lived there had begun to kind of mix and kind of intersperse with the locals, so they weren't, I guess if you want to call it, pure Númenórean. The Númenóreans there recognized the legitimacy of Elendil's and his sons' claims to the throne, and so they became the royal line. And Númenor was, as I said, completely destroyed. There was no going back to their home, so they founded 2 kingdoms. The one is Arnor in the north, which was not as fertile as the southern kingdom, Gondor, so it did not have as large a population. However, it was ruled over by the High King Elendil himself, whereas Gondor was split between his 2 sons, Anarion and Isildur, who I'm sure all of you who are familiar with the Lord of the Rings lore know quite well. He's the one that refused to destroy the ring after the siege of Barad-dûr, when Sauron was defeated for the first time. And one of the things that I really like about the men in Middle Earth is, I'll zoom in a little bit so you can get a nice view of the action here, is that unlike the elves, the Valar never really came and tried to wage war on their behalf. They never swooped in to save the day, which the message that I always took away from the books and kind of how men are portrayed and how they live and how they deal with conflict is that they deal with it largely on their own. With they push through things under their own steam. There's no godlike kind of presence there to save them. And since Tolkien had intended men to basically be the same men that inhabit the earth today, just that all of the events of Lord of the Rings and the Silmarillion is just a distant kind of memory that's so far in the past that it's been forgotten. But the only people that could help men was men, which is very much the reality today. And if you need something done or you need something changed, for better or for worse, it's going to be done by people. So I always took that as a message. I always took that it's necessary that we help ourselves. No one will kind of prop us up with some sort of divine power or swoop in to save the day. So there's actually one of the reasons that I really disliked the third Peter Jackson film was that the Army of the Dead was not actually present at. Finally, we've started to rout them. Good. The Army of the Dead was not actually present at the Battle of Pelennor Fields, which in the movie brought a really cool battle scene to a kind of abrupt halt. These unstoppable undead warriors had to come in and save everybody. So I felt that I really kind of took away from that message in the story, that despite these overwhelming odds, through basically courage and loyalty and strength, that these essentially ordinary people overcame this great kind of darkness, that being Sauron and everything that he stands for, oppression and destruction and domination. So, yeah, that's probably one of the reasons that I enjoy men the most. Is yes, they're not powerful like the elves, and they're or hardy like the dwarves, and they don't live forever. But in their own way, they were probably the most important race in the entire series. And of course, it's written by people, so I suppose we would have a tendency to naturally kind of put ourselves into a position where we're extremely important, because otherwise it's hard to relate to it, right? Like Doctor Who, for example. That one of the Doctor's favorite races is people. I mean, if you were an alien from outer space, you might look at this and see that as kind of arrogant, but it makes it easier to relate, I would think, than to some kind of short, hairy people who aren't really anything like the average person, or these long-lived, wise, powerful, immortal beings. And did we beat them all? Oh, is there some hiding in our square up here? Is there another unit? Oh, color me confused. Yeah, they're routing. What are these guys doing? They are also routing. So, yeah, I'm confused. Oh. What are they even doing in here? But yeah, that's one of the reasons that I like the series so much, is that I find it empowering in a lot of ways. Yeah, let's run these filthy goblins out of our hometown, and we'll end this little battle, and we'll get to the big battle with the Balrog, which I'm sure everybody is waiting for, with quite a lot of anticipation. 145 or 158 elves just beat back 187 orcs of Mordor. So, bravo us. And of course, we execute them, because they're filthy orcs, and that's what they deserve. But yes, that is why I like men in the Lord of the Rings series, because they never really had to have someone come and save them. They always had to do things for themselves. They're very independent. Which isn't to say that, they don't make mistakes. I mean, they constantly make mistakes in the stories. Alright, here we go. Battle with the Balrog. Let's do this. There he is. Dun 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 dun. Let's see what else they got here. A couple of generals' bodyguard. One of them is fairly substantial. We've got a faction leader's bodyguard. And some wargs. Number of pathetic goblins and filthy snaga. You know what? I think we got this. So here we are. Lord Celeborn and 1,000 of his elves and David Tennant versus almost 2,800 goblins of the Misty Mountains. Ah, yeah, see, I was just talking about these. My game and I, we're in sync. Oathbreakers, why have ye come? And a voice was heard out of the night that answered, to fulfill our oath and have peace. Well, there's not going to be any peace in this battle, because we are taking the fight to the orcs in their mountain here. We'll follow them up with our fearsome archer companies. And our spearmen. Alright, let's do this. Let's go take a little look inside. Oh my god, there's 10 of them! I was sort of not expecting that. Now, well, we'll pump them full of arrows. Hopefully we don't get pushed out of here. Let's see. Goblins. Of course, nothing but goblins. Well, we are fighting the orcs of the Misty Mountains. Or the goblins of the Misty Mountains. Wargs. These guys, as you have seen in battles before, can inflict a pretty terrible amount of damage if you leave them unchecked and don't pay attention to them. Some pathetic snaga archers. And yeah. Mostly just goblin light infantry and a little bit of heavy infantry. It's the Balrogs we gotta be worried about, though. Alright, come on, boyos, hurry up here. Break down this little door. Which looks like we could just slip under it. That's a bit of a glitch there, isn't it? Come on! Break that door. Oh yes, here we go. Let's go take a look in here. Yeah, I don't quite like this. But hopefully we can push over there, and I have to fight them right uphill. Oh yeah, they've all gathered in the town center, so what to do, Looks like it's just one big hallway that goes straight in. There's no way to no, stop that. Come on. Oh yeah, it looks like there is a that's irritating. There's a way to get around them. Well, what I'm thinking is, oh yeah, they've got a force of halberdmen over here to hold this. What I'm thinking is we might be able to come at them from two sides here, so we don't have to just kind of push through that big mass of filthy orcs and these terrifying Balrogs here. Alright. So we're going to divide our forces up here. I'm going to send 4 of our infantry right across here. Or maybe not. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we'll send some more expendable archers behind them. How about this?
We've captured the enemy's walls.
That'll have to do. There's not really a whole lot of room to maneuver in there. And then we'll send the rest of our troops over to here. These guys gonna come down the hill? They might. So we're gonna move in as quick as we can. And then we'll of course bring our generals in. And we're gonna place them right about here. Yeah, so they can inspire our troops and such. This is frustrating. Okay, there we go. And we'll have 1 unit of Lorien infantry in reserve, and I'll figure out what I want to do with them later. I'm more worried about these guys coming down here. I don't want them to flank our troops before we get into position, but if they come off that hill, that would be good for us. Yes, here comes our glorious elven host. And we've still got our Lorien Rangers, so we're going to take them and do something with them at least. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how we're gonna do this because it's so crammed in here. There's very little room to move or maneuver or anything like that. And they're winded, so we'll let them rest a bit. You know what? I have a good idea. We're gonna put our generals right here on this bridge so that they're, yeah, basically unable to be attacked, but can attack these goblins coming in on our flank here. Oh, come on. No. You guys can make it across that bridge too. There's room for everybody. Arg. Can't see. Very annoying. Have them save their arrows. What we got here? Yeah, see, now we've kind of mucked this up, but that's alright, because we're going to take them on two sides now, so we'll take advantage of this screw up and turn it into a not screw up. Let's see what they've got up here. If they've got any filthy snaga firing down at us. That would be smart, which probably means they haven't done it. Yeah, see? See if we can get a nice little shot of this battle on the bridge going on here. Yeah, these... Looks like we've managed to trap a really large portion of their heavy infantry, so we'll take them out now and then... Yeah. Oh my god! No, 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 that is not good. Oh, okay, guys.
If we continue like this,
We shoot up
we will
here.
smash the enemy.
Do things. Oh god. Maybe we'll hit some of those Balrogs by accident. Yeah, these guys aren't going to go down without a fight. They're quite powerful, and there's 10 of them, which even in canon there was never that many. Yeah, see, they're wrecking balls, and we're going to have some serious trouble dealing with them. But so we've got this little bit of a victory over here. With this goblin infantry force trapped. Okay, well, while they're busy, we're gonna take advantage of the orcs having pooled all their resources essentially into one place. No, there's the halberdman that we saw earlier. I wonder if we could even give our frontline troops here a break and sneak behind with our Lorien Rangers and take this place from them. Where's the rest of our troops? Are they going around the outside for some incredibly absurd reason? The AI in this game is something to behold. Well, at the moment we have no reinforcements to send these guys, so that's not good. Well, victory seems certain, which is surprising. I'm not entirely sure where the goblins have positioned the rest of their force. I guess there's them. Yeah, they'll be a bit of a problem for our Lorien Rangers, because we don't have time to put down like our stakes and everything. So have them go up there, shoot those goblin halberdsmen down. Give the rest of these morons a chance to... Oh my god, where are you going? What? Are you lemmings or something? Or are you just gonna go fall off that cliff? That's very frustrating. Now they're gonna, yeah, turn around and actually do their job. Well, this is messier than I thought it was going to be. So we've managed to break and destroy at least one goblin unit here, and yeah, we're giving this other one here the business with our archers. This will be fun to watch. These poor goblins, and they're facing the other direction. Yes, perfect. Well, this is going to be slaughter. Let's watch. Oof. It's not fun for these poor goblins here. Didn't see it coming. Yeah, we got our 3 units of Lorien infantry here, raining down death on these guys. How's Lord Celeborn's unit here. Yeah, we're getting quite tired quite quickly. But it means that now we can move up this more or less fresh unit of infantry here, and it looks like our general's bodyguard has engaged these Balrogs, which is not something I want them to do, but oh well. We'll get Lord Celeborn in on the action, see if we can find him. It'd be a welcome addition to our troops here, who are actually suffering quite badly to these at the hands of these Balrogs. I'm not sure if we've killed any yet. No, none of them are dead as of yet. No, it's just like they weren't routing after all. Oh dear. Yeah, we've got our exhausted troops that are who knows where, because this map makes no sense to me at all. Guess they've got to go around here. Yeah, they've got a ways yet till they get to our breach point. And they're exhausted too, so they're not going to be much help. Let's see how Lord Celeborn and David Tennant's retinue are dealing with these Balrogs here. Oh my god, we haven't killed any of them. They just won't die. Ooh, what's going on here? Okay. It's not our troops. Good. No one's gotten bored of living and has run out of formation. We still haven't killed these things yet? Good lord. We've used half of our arrows on them and they're facing the other direction. Come on. I may have to tweak with arrows a little bit, just to make them a little more useful. Maybe I'll lower their attack values or something and give them armor piercing. I don't know, something like that. Something fun that would make sense. Let's see. Looks like we may... Did we kill one of the Balrogs? I think one of them should be dead. Can't quite. Despite their being gigantic. Can't. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, still nothing. They're steadily depleting our troops here. But it looks like we've dealt with almost the entire Goblin infantry force. Smashed them, and yeah, we've just got to worry about these guys now. And oh yeah, they've got a reserve unit here. Wow, on this side. And some filthy snaga, and yes, the trolls haven't even gotten into the fight yet, so we might, depending on how things go with these Balrogs, we might actually have to retreat or something like that, because I don't know if we can beat these guys. I mean, if this keeps up much longer, we're not going to have much of a force left. Oh yes, we've killed one! Oh, look at that. He's right there. Exemplary job, guys, exemplary. In Lorien, in the first age, the Balrogs were very, very much kind of elf crackers. Gothmog himself, I think, was responsible for the deaths of at least 2 High Kings of the Noldor, those being Fingon at the Battle of... Someone help me pronounce this on the forums, and now I've kind of forgotten what they told me, but I believe it's Nir Nayeth Arnodiad, but again, I'm sorry if it's not pronounced correctly. And the other is... oh no, actually he's responsible for the deaths of 3. The first one is, of course, Feanor, who I told you about. Fingon at the Battle of blah 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 blah. And the third is when Gothmog himself was actually killed, and that was during the sack of Gondolin by Turgon. No, it wasn't Turgon, it was Ecthelion of the Fountain. So I guess it was just 2 High Kings in the Noldor then. And yeah, Turgon died in the wreck of his tower in his city. Oh, we've taken down 2 now. They're down to 8. And we're slowly grinding these Balrog down to nothing, so we should be okay. The other half of our infantry force here has yet to arrive. They decided they would go and take a nice mountain stroll and leave us to fight this battle for them. They will be severely disciplined once we get back to the campaign map. Let's see here. We've got a Lorien infantry who was also exhausted, but you know what? Whatever. We're gonna throw them in there. Yeah, our poor spearmen companies can't take much more of this. We're gonna have to get our Lorien infantry in there, as well as these guys, because I think that they're out of arrows. Attack! Charge! As you see, these Balrogs are terrifying killing machines. Look at all our poor elves that they've trampled into the dirt. See if we can get these guys close enough to start taking pot shots at this assembled orc host in here. Yeah, we still gotta deal with trolls too, so we may have to take a short break. Give our guys the chance to recuperate. Uh-oh. Looks like they've noticed exactly what I'm doing, and they're bringing their soldiers forward to reinforce these Balrogs down here. This is gonna get really messy. Yeah, we'll use that one more time. Are they warmed up? Oh, okay. I thought for a second there that ability had reset everybody's fatigue back to warmed up. Would have been nice. Yeah, their reinforcements are coming in, and ours are on the way. Difference being, theirs are quite fresh, and ours are all exhausted, so we're gonna have some troubles here. Ooh, we're in a perfect position to snipe these trolls. Let's take them out. Yeah, trolls are they're quite unarmored. I think most of their armor comes from a defense skill, which is only really usable when they're in melee combat. So yeah, we don't really seem to be hitting them, do we? Yeah, we gotta deal as much damage to these trolls as possible and really eliminate them as a threat. I believe these cave trolls have 7 or so hit points, which is close to what the Balrogs have. I believe they have about 9. Thankfully, the AI is being a little derpy here and took some time, their sweet time getting into the combat. Oh, our troops aren't chasing these guys. Okay, never mind. Well, we better activate our Lorien Rangers then, because it's time for you guys to do things. Oh, we're gonna take out these bodyguards. Yeah. Protect our rear with those guys, and we'll move for a surround here. Envelop this orc bodyguard. Ah! There we go. Yeah, see, this is exactly what I was worried about. These guys are gonna have to hold the line while we slaughter their commander here. Yeah, these bodyguard are pretty bloody, so we're not gonna stand up very long against our powerful troops. Wow, 99. These guys are about even then. That'll be a tough battle for our rangers, but I think they can come out on top. These guys have probably been running around a fair bit. Yeah, look at that. Defeat seems certain. How are we doing over here? Victory is still a distinct possibility. Well, looks like we've started to butcher these cave trolls a little bit, but we really need to take care of these archers up here, because they just start to grind us down just purely through attrition. And there's no... We could go a loose formation, but that would just cause problems, so I imagine with pathing and... Yeah, as I said, there's not very much room. Finally, this column of our reinforcements, our exhausted reinforcements, are almost to the battle. Better late than never, guys. How many of these Balrogs have we brought low? I think we've killed, yeah, pretty much about 6 of them. Yeah, there we go. I'll show these pathetic snaga who's boss. Soon enough, our Lorien infantry will have dealt with these guys. And oh! Victory seems certain. That's not good. Look at these fellows here. Yeah, hurry up. Your friends need help. Looks like we completely annihilated that orc infantry unit. Oh, well, they're bringing up some more reinforcements here, so yeah, we're pretty much engaged on all fronts. Move these guys over this way, if we can. Surround this goblin bodyguard here, and yeah, we'll take them down. Bit of a risky maneuver because we've got a goblin infantry coming in behind us, but yeah, our Lorien Rangers can't beat these guys on their own. Where's their general? Yeah, we're pushing him around. We're bullying him. Look at that. Oof. He's just sword-proof, isn't he? What's going on over here? Evenly matched. Oh god. Yeah, they've thrown the wargs into the mix now. We need our reinforcements to get their butts over here. Come on, guys. We have to,
Our men have slain the enemy general. A worthy enemy, but no less dead for that. We must press
we have to pull Lord Celeborn and his retinue out of there. Oh yeah. Now we can get in there. We'll send them in one at a time. Send them right into the flank of these wargs here. We'll send them howling back to whatever hole they crawled out of. I think it's probably wise if we pull Mr. Tenant here out of combat, because him and his bodyguard have done enough. They've bled for our cause quite badly in the last few battles. Each engagement I've gotten him in since I've acquired the general has almost resulted in his death, so yeah, we're gonna try to avoid that. Run these guys out of here yet? Oh yeah, look at that. They're broken. They're fighting to the death. Well, we're gonna have to move our infantry up here in support of these guys. Attack! How's our Lorien Rangers doing? Not so great. I think they've managed to rout this bodyguard unit though, so we'll take those guys down. Move these guys up. Yeah, we'll put our tired troops in the back, and which one of you is winded? We take both the generals down? Excellent, that's what I like to see. So yeah, that's the death of High Chieftain Uglag right there. Move our troops around here into what looks like Balin's burial chamber. I'll take these. Yeah, we'll start pushing these orcs back into this town square. And unfortunately, these Balrogs are still in the fight. There's only 2 left, but they're preventing us from getting up there and destroying this horde of pathetic snaga. Attack! We're just gonna send everybody in because at this point, yeah, they're all exhausted. And we really badly need to push up this hill. It's gonna be a hard fight, but we can do it. Yeah, we'll get Mr. Tenant out of there. Where's our Lord Celeborn? Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to find him in this big cluster of elves. These guys are... Oh, look at that. Gold quality. Yeah, these guys will make mincemeat of these orcs. Attack! Yeah, We'll let them do their work because they're the least tired of all of our troops. No, 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 no. Bad. Bad. No. No running to your death. There we go. Oh god. Yeah, this very foolhardy Lorien Ranger is about to get swept away. He's getting beaten up by this tiny little man right here. But it may actually work out because he might keep these guys technically in melee combat, so they won't be able to shoot us. So might work out for a little bit. Can it be? We've destroyed all of the Balrogs. So now it's time for, yeah, our fresher troops to really start taking over the brunt of this fight. So we're gonna move them to the front and pull everybody else back. Oh, this poor spearman unit. Reduced down to 12. They've been in the fight the longest. We'll pull everybody else back. Yeah, there we go. We'll overrun these snaga. Yeah, look at that. We're starting to rout them. Uh-oh, that's not good. Here's what we're gonna do. Yeah, we'll basically have them move behind these goblins and just bust right through their lines and get at these archers behind them. If we can. It's probably going to cause us quite a few casualties, but at this point we've lost a third of our men, so we've already taken pretty heavy casualties. Come on, guys. Push, push. Yeah, our generals are firing right into the backs of these cowardly orc and snaga hordes. Yeah, these orcs really don't want us to get into here, so I have a feeling that our Lorien Ranger companies, by the time this battle is done, are going to be pretty heavily depleted, but it's better than having to fight them all at once. What are these guys doing down here? 64. Yeah, we'll give all of our battered troops an opportunity to rest up before we throw them back into the fray. Come on, guys, kill faster. Come on. Rout him so we can push farther down this hill and turn this hill advantage to our advantage. Ah! What is this? Yeah, these guys they're pushing them quite quickly up this hill. Just look at this brutal slaughter. Just elves and filthy snaga and Balrog. War corpses just littering the ground. Yeah, my computer doesn't like that very much. I need a better video card, I expect.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Go! Yeah, I want to get as many people as we can to be attacking all at once. Charge! That's right, get in there, boys. As you can see, this is probably the bloodiest battle we fought. I mean, usually we can take on these orcs, and with a little bit of fancy footwork, we can take them down and usually not lose a whole lot of our guys. But yeah, this has just been a brutal slog. This is basically my siege battle nightmare, and why I don't like to fight siege battles, because it's just such a huge loss of life. But well. It's fun to watch, right? It's fun to watch me play with the lives of all of these little men. Elves. Yeah, I think this is... Yeah, they don't have any more tricks up their sleeves, so that should be all of them. Let's see that, yeah, it looks like this populous unit here is taking the brunt of this orc assault, which is good. Because our other units are already been pretty heavily depleted. We all still exhausted at this point. Very tired. Making some progress. Yeah, these poor spearmen, where are they? Look at that. That is sad. They're down to pretty much a tenth of the unit. Yeah, we've finally pushed our way up these stairs. Now it's on equal ground. They've all got to be exhausted by this point. Here's what we're gonna do: overrun them. There's one big surge. Ah! Yeah, look at that. Just watch them fall. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright, let's see. Yeah, there's really not much else we can do except just kind of watch our troops slowly grind these goblins into dust. I just can't get over this carnage. This is one of our most terrible battles yet. Very tired, very tired. Very tired. Yeah, they're getting there. Exhausted. Exhausted. Yeah, we finally kind of forced our way up the doorway and almost into the square, the magical square of courage. That makes all cowardly goblins into basically a fearless kind of Conan the Barbarian character. Pushing them down this hill. See if we can speed this up a little bit. Yeah, look at that. Watch them go down. Slowly but surely we're making our way. So yeah, in the meantime, I'll talk a little bit more about men. There's the two kingdoms of the Dunedain in exile, Gondor and Arnor. And after the battle of the siege of Barad-dûr, Elendil was killed, and I believe also his son Anarion was killed. And following that up, after Isildur had taken the ring for himself, he was caught. It's actually nearish to Lorien. It's called Gladden Fields, also known as the Disaster of Gladden Fields. He had his retinue of about 200 Dunedain knights that were attacked by a force of probably a few thousand orcs, something like that. I know that they were greatly outnumbered. They of course held their ground as best they could. They were defending their liege and the lord that they owe their status and all of that good stuff too. And they were eventually overrun by the orcs, basically hopping on the Dunedain and just dragging them away into the darkness and murdering them, just basically overrunning them. And Isildur and his sons were all killed. Isildur, as you know, was killed when he jumped into the Anduin River and was shot in the back by orcs because the ring of power had slipped off of his finger. Treacherous little bastard that it is. And yeah, so ended Isildur. And that's when the ring was lost. And as we all know, it was later found by Gollum. So there you go. We destroyed that goblin army and took Moria, but we lost 545 of our elves in the process. So that is far and away our bloodiest battle.
We protect the elven lands.
So there you go. We've taken Moria, and it looks like they've got. Oh no, they have been destroyed completely. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Orcs of the Misty Mountains. We killed their entire family tree. So they had nothing left. Now there's just this tiny little, or not so tiny little, rebel goblin army here that we have to deal with. Orcs of Gundabad are not happy with us for slaughtering their cousins. Karen Amaroth is now... Is that a new town? Is it a big town? Oh, I forgot to play with the taxes too. Hopefully he hasn't got like the incompetent governor trait or something like that. And a lot of people have told me that I should be moving Haldir out of Lorien. I'm actually not going to do that because not that I don't value your feedback. That's not what I'm saying at all. But sort of my internal RP monologue tells me that I should have strong leadership at home to sort of, hold down the fort, as it were, the various forts. And so yeah, that's Haldir's job. He's a strong general. He's well respected, very loyal. So yeah, he's the kind of commander that I would want to look after my house while I'm gone. So yes, thank you once again for joining me for another episode. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that battle. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in episode 5.